There are two types of successes in the world: external success, internal success. External success. When we talk about success, we usually refer to the external success, i.e. external and visible achievements. The achievements can be of different types like wealth, power, position, fame. External success must be measurable and hence relative by definition. For example, if you have $1 million, you are wealthy and hence successful. However, as compared to a person having $1 billion, you are unsuccessful. Even a billionaire may feel unsuccessful compared to someone who has $100 billion wealth. The same can be said about the other parameters of success like power, position and fame. The worst part is that you have hardly any control over these parameters. For example, a billionaire may become a pauper. If his business fails, a president or PM may be defeated in election and lose power. You can be removed from your position by superior or due to retirement. Your fame can vanish overnight by one scandal or even a strong rumor. Hence, when you are externally successful, you are rarely happy since you always fear losing your success. Internal success. While an external motivated person seeks success in outside world by achieving external victories over others, the internally motivated person seeks success by having internal victories on self. He does not defeat others to prove himself better. He rather defeats his own weaknesses like greed, hatred, anger, selfishness, envy to accomplish his success. An internally motivated person works for overcoming his desires rather than working to fulfill them. This may look simple theoretically, but actually much more difficult in reality. Aristotle considered such person more courageous. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who overcomes his enemies. Such people may not be considered successful by the world, but they are successful in true sense since their achievements are internal, which can't be taken away by any outsider. The story of a Mexican fisherman explains what a really successful person is. An American investment banker was at the pier of a small coastal Mexican village when a small boat with just one fisherman docked. Inside the small boat were several large yellowfin tuna. The American complimented the Mexican on the quality of his fish and asked how long it took to catch them. The Mexican replied, "Only a little while." The American then asked why didn't he stay out longer and catch more fish. The Mexican said he had enough to support his family's immediate needs. The American then asked, "But what do you do with the rest of your time?" The Mexican fisherman said, "I sleep late, fish a little, play with my children, take siestas with my wife, Maria, stroll into the village each evening where I sip wine, and play guitar with my amigos. I have a full and busy life." The American scoffed, "I am a Harvard MBA and could help you. You should spend more time fishing and with the proceeds, buy a bigger boat. With the proceeds from the bigger boat, you could buy several boats. Eventually you would have a fleet of fishing boats. Instead of selling your catch to a middleman, you would sell directly to the processor, eventually opening your own cannery. You would control the product, processing, and distribution. You would need to leave this small coastal fishing village and move to Mexico City, then LA and eventually New York City, where you will run your expanding enterprise." The Mexican fisherman asked, "But, how long will this all take?" To which the American replied, 15 to 20 years. "But what then?" asked the Mexican. The American laughed and said, "That's the best part. When the time is right you would announce an IPO and sell your company stock to the public and become very rich. You would make millions." "Millions, then what?" The American said, "Then you would retire. Move to a small coastal fishing village where you would sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take siestas with your wife, stroll to the village in the evenings where you could sip wine and play your guitar with your amigos." 1. I know many externally successful people and also many internally successful people. I have noticed that the externally successful people are mostly unhappy and dissatisfied despite their wealth, power and fame, while the internally successful people are mostly happy and satisfied with their life with whatever they have. And the best thing is that it does not require years of hard work, self-torture of body and soul and sacrifice of principles and honor to achieve internal success, as you can achieve it here and now by self-realization.